Greetings, you beautiful humans. Welcome to episode 12 of the story of the t-shirt quilt. Today we're going to be talking about the Sunbar Tanning Saloon, Massage Emporium, and Detox Center. But before we do, I just thought I'd mention why I put my Cubs shirt back on. I don't think I had this on since the first episode about the importance of my experience with the Cubs and Wrigley Field. The reason I put it back on is, first of all, there's a huge sports component to the Sunbar. We'll get to that in a minute. But I also wanted to mention an experience that I had at the bar where I got this shirt. It's called Buckets, and it's in a place called Racine, Illinois. Or Racine, Wisconsin, excuse me. I talked earlier about the importance of Wisconsin. This was hugely important in my little life. I got a call in 2015, would I be interested in doing a daily radio talk show at a station in Racine? And it's a long story, but I moved from Tampa to Racine, a city I had never been in, to a company I didn't know about until 72 hours before. I moved 72 hours after I got the job. And the guy who owned the radio station said to me, why would a 55-year-old guy who's settled in Florida with all these kids and this wonderful family move back to Wisconsin to do a talk show on a struggling radio station? And I said to him, Dave, I've had three dreams in my life. Number one was to buy Camp Menominee, my boyhood summer camp, done. Number two was to have a large, loving family, done. KFL, Dawn, all the kids, the grandkids now. And number three was to have a successful radio talk show. And I've done two out of the three. And that's when he told me, you're hired. And I moved to Racine. Buckets was a sports bar right by my house, within walking distance of the house that I nicknamed the Gingerbread House. Why? Because it was a cute, quaint little gingerbread house, that's why. And I was sitting at Buckets one day, and I was talking to some guy sitting at the bar next to me, and the guy to my left said, excuse me, are you Glenn Klein? I said, yes, I am. And he said, I know I recognize that voice, I love your show. In a year and a half, I won 4 Wisconsin Broadcasting Association awards at WRJN, one of the oldest radio stations in the country, founded in 1926. Then they fired my ass. Why did they fire me? It's all over my Facebook and my podcast. I'm not going to explain right now, but it's funny and it's interesting. And I'm so glad they did, because I ended up back in Tampa. And it was a great experience, and I could check that off my bucket list. Get it? You should have a bucket list. I've achieved all my bucket list stuff. The reason I'm doing this thing is because I want to. And watch episode 1, you'll understand. The Sunbar, I was looking for a business because back in the day, 25 years ago, I was buying my own time. After we sold camp, we sold Menominee in 1997 to Steve Konevsky, a former camper and counselor of ours. He ran it for 17 years. And now he sold to a former camper of his and ours and a counselor of his named Jason Feldgraber. Beautiful. But I didn't see any way that I was going to be able to have a radio career. So I was looking for a business, and I never had been to a tanning joint in my life. And I walked into a place called Tanfastic, little 6-bed, little 6-unit place. A guy named John was selling it, and it was within my price range. Tanfastic, that's what its name was. Didn't like the name, but there was 1,000 Tanfastics across the country. They don't have anything to do with each other, but nobody has an original thought between their ears, so they just great. It's like, why are there so many bars named Cheers? Because there was a famous television show about it. Do you need a cough lozenges? No?
No, I'm all right.
We'll get you one in between shoots. And so I was like, the place had been there for 7 years, and I got customer loyalty. We'll keep Tanfastic. And my number one goal at the Sunbar was to, you okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more on the Sunbar. Don't go anywhere.